We're back. Big up to everyone that's here. 12th man is back. We've got another Arsenal show, and I'm with my boy Egal. Egal couldn't make tonight's show, so I thought we'd get him on earlier. Neither of us are feeling great. We're both a little bit under the weather with the flu, and hopefully Arsenal can start to make us feel a little bit better as we look to talk towards games coming up, which are very difficult games, actually, starting with Everton, which we're going to talk a little bit on, and look back to what has been a strange game against Wolves, which no one expected. And we're going to talk on reasons as to why we struggled on that game. First of all, big up to OK Jerseys. They're our sponsors. You've got the code 12man for 8% off. You will get it in time for Christmas if you order now. So please make sure you do that. Any shirt with any name and number on the back. And you'll use that code 12man to get 8% off. I have, if you want to order as well, my channel merch. This is one that I'm wearing at the moment. Obviously, this is the hoodie that we've got, the Thierry Henry one. We are going to start to do more of these, guys. So make sure that you do get that in. The link is in the live chat now. It's pinned to the messaging. So make sure you click on
Freya
that.
help you make that?
Who, sorry?
Frey.
Fran did, yeah. Fran was basically the designer.
Yeah,
She's been fantastic, yeah. No, you're pretty. Yeah, that's fine. I know who you meant. Yeah, Fran's fantastic, man. She's class. Yeah, so Fran's football. Make sure you're showing her some love as well because she's been fantastic. We've got mugs, we've got stickers, we've got mouse mats, we've got all sorts over there. So make sure you go click on that and
when you're Arteta in stuff.
The channel. Well, it kind of is Arteta in, I suppose, if you want to go and get it, because it's Arsenal stuff, man. So he's the manager at the moment, so that's the way it is. So that's that. Big up to everyone that's here. Big up to the moderators as well. And yeah, we will start the show. If I'm honest with you, Egal, I suppose I'll start with the performance against Wolves. What did you make of it?
Okay, first thing, we're always one goal away from the whole performance being viewed as different, because I felt like in the first half, although we didn't score a goal and the first half was very, very poor in the sense that we weren't able to finish our dinner, we had chances. The two headers that Martinelli, he should have done something with them, if I'm not mistaken. You remember those?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I'm not mistaken, the whole first half was kind of like just Arsenal. All the momentum was on our side. But the long throws are annoying me a little bit because our long throws led to more shots for them than us, which is a little bit annoying. I'm like, in the future, hopefully we don't end up conceding chances off the back of long throws, and maybe we should do some more short throws instead of doing long throws every time, because it did kind of slow down the momentum. The ball was out of play a lot more. The rhythm was going out all over the place. I felt like Timber, Declan Rice had some chances. Then the Juan chance happened. I felt like Saka had a couple opportunities. Martinelli had a couple opportunities. But overall, it was poor to start the game. And as the game went on more and more, it got more nervy. And credit to Wolves, they played very well defensively. And we end up getting the own goal from Johnson, from Saka's delivery into the box. What a delivery it was. And it hits the post in off the player's back, and we score one own goal. Then Wolves go and score in the 90th minute, which I thought was terrible game management from Arsenal. We should not have sat back. We should have stayed on the front foot. And then luckily, I felt like Jesus kind of changed the game slightly. With his movement, he gave us more options. And luckily from there, we got our own goal. It wasn't Jesus, but it was Saka crossing it in once again, helping the team, lift the team. And Jesus' movement led to the defender heading it in himself. And there's so many individuals we can pick out. You're probably going to talk about them. But the overall performance was poor. But when you play poor and you're in the title race like we are, you need to win. And it's a good result, but it's a poor performance.
Look, the result's all that matters, but that performance stunk, bruv. It was so bad. It was bore to watch. It was bad in every element. All the departments weren't doing their jobs properly, in my opinion. Wolves didn't need to be good. In fact, Wolves were still poor because they couldn't do much against an Arsenal side. They didn't try to do much. They come with a game plan. Rob Edwards has obviously got that into them, and they nearly walked away with something. The goal we conceded is absolutely embarrassing. Declan Rice ducks, and Nkapie, I don't know what he's doing. But other than that, I look at each department. Raya, to be fair to him, fair play, actually made a couple of saves. Defensively, we're all over the place at the moment because we've got too many injuries. Ben White's now out for a long period of time. Timber's playing here, there, and everywhere, and he's running on fumes. Saliba's first game back. Nkapie is now playing at left back instead, which I thought was weird. I thought Lewis-Skelly would have come in, but obviously Nkapie played there. And then in the middle of midfield, Rice and Zubimendi also are running on fumes. Like both of these players look like they need a rest at the moment. Eze,
luckily we got 7 days off.
Well, now we've got a week off, which is great. But Eze, I need to see more. I'm sorry. I need to see more. You can't just score a hat-trick against Spurs and your season's done. You've got to do better. I need to see more from him. Odegaard. Huh?
He won us 2 games. He beat Palace also.
Yeah, but I need to see more. And I definitely need to see more from our captain because I don't get what this guy does. I'm starting to really, really run. I have been the biggest... You know when people call you a flip-flop and that's supposed to be a bad thing? I never actually think it is because I think all of us flip-flop all year round, right? I have been the biggest flip-flop with Martin Odegaard. It is scary. I didn't want him to start with. I didn't want him. I wanted James Maddison. Then I was proven actually he can score goals in the 22-23 season. This captain might be the guy that's going to be our kind of Kevin De Bruyne type player. He's not got anywhere near that level. He's not even got half as good as this guy, right? When I look at what Martin Odegaard has done, I can't remember the last time he'd run a game of football where I thought, this is beautiful to watch. Look at him. I'm proud of this guy. He didn't run it. He came on for 20 minutes. I'm talking about minute 0 to minute 90. Clearly the best player on the pitch. No one touches him. I think we have to go back a couple of seasons, bro.
But he's been injured.
I need to see more from this guy. And yeah, but he said he's been injured. He's not been injured for ages. Like, let's be real. Martin Odegaard, I think, knows himself.
He just came back going into the Chelsea game.
Wait, what do you mean?
Going into the Chelsea game, he just came back after that game.
Yeah, but it was that last season it was injuries. Are we going to say it's now injuries again for him?
Bro,
like, the guy's been playing. Do you think the guy... So you think the guy is not playing well because he's still injured?
Dan, this season, he has been substituted at halftime 3 times due to a shoulder injury. That has to have an impact.
So you think that he's just going to be we might as well sell him because he's always injured? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think it's too harsh to be judging him so quickly this season. If you want to judge him based off the last couple of seasons, fair. But this season, how many games has he even played?
Enough to not make an impact so far.
He's played 10 games, 6 in which he started, and 3 of them he got subbed off. So he basically only played 6 games. He started 6 games, okay? From those 6 games that he started in the Premier League this season, he was subbed off, 3 of them injured. So he only had 3 starts. When you really think about it, he had 3 starts this season, Dan, in the league. 3.
Is that a worry then?
It's not a worry because we have Eze, but he has been dealing with injuries. And you need a run of games before you say this player is playing well or this player is playing bad. Saka now has a run of games. He's starting to look good again. I don't think we need to be completely too worried about Odegaard when you deep it. Let me break it down for you. He's had 4 games as a substitute. He's had 6 games as a starter. 3 of those games he was injured. He's only had 3 games where he started the game and finished the game. Like,
have you been impressed with him so far? Have you been impressed with what he's done so far?
I'm judging him based off 3 games.
Okay, yeah, but so no then.
No, based on what he's done so far this season, he has been a part-time player. He's not been a full-time Arsenal player. He's been injured. He's been in and out of the side. He has played as much minutes as Martinelli.
I've just got to be honest. When I'm looking at Martin Odegaard, I get more frustrated than I do excited. And I'll tell you why. His style of play, for whatever reason, whether it's been coached into him or whether he just is that guy, slows everything down. If I wanted somebody to bring on at 2-0 to see a game out, I'd bring on Martin Odegaard because I know nothing is going to get exciting with him. He's just going to keep the ball, spin round on it like Cardi Minogue and pass it sideways or backwards. You're going to see no threaded ball through. He's allergic to doing that now. The only thing he can do is this. This is Odegaard. This is the football. Loft over the top. Now, if I'm a striker, bruv, I'm looking at my captain and I'm grabbing hold of him by the scruff of the neck, so I don't care. And I'm going, what do you want me to do with that ball? What do you want me to do with this as it's coming down? Because I've got to hit it top bins Robin Van Persie style first time and score a worldie, or I've got to try and take it down and control it and hope the defender's shit so he isn't quick enough to get the ball off of me. It is the most pointless loft I've ever seen in my life. It's never come off, it's never worked, and it's never going to work. Yet this guy's still doing it. Does he think he's playing with Ronaldinho and R9? Because he ain't, yeah? I'm so frustrated by watching him, Egal. I think he's poor. I've got to say it. I think he's been poor. I watched him for not really my cup of tea. He ain't Santi Cazorla or Cesc, but he might do a half-decent job. By the way, he's nowhere near that level. Yeah, let's just say it how it is. He wouldn't get in the top 5 best attacking midfielders I've seen at Arsenal. Let me tell you that. But everyone loves this guy. I don't think he is what we need moving forward. And I actually think now he's damaging what we're trying to do going forward.
Okay, Dan, let me ask you a question. Right now, can you judge Gyokeres based off the start of his season? Can you judge who else is there that has had a rough start? Can you judge Havertz off the start of his season? Can you judge some of these guys who've been in and out of the team?
Of course I can. I can judge Gyokeres. He's played 17 games for Arsenal.
Okay, and you think he's been great? No, right?
Not at all. I think he's been awful, in fact.
All right. Then we go through the team. Let's go through the team. Eze, same thing, right?
I don't think he's been as bad as Gyokeres or Odegaard, but he's certainly been. I'm unconvinced that he's the guy to take us to across the line.
Okay, now let me get somewhere with this. The guys who've been some of the better players in the midfield, Zubimendi played 13,000 minutes in the Premier League, has started every game pretty much except for one, and has come off the bench in one of them. Declan Rice, I would say probably one of our best midfielders this season, has started every single game except for one, right? The players who've had the run of games that have had the consistency in the team are our better performing players. The likes of Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, Zubimendi, and Rice. And even Saka has not been his scintillating best this season at times. But he also missed a couple games, has not started every game. He started 12 out of our 16 games so far this season. Even he has at moments has had wobbles, but he's gotten back into it. My point being, the players who consistently played in the team gain confidence, gain rhythm, and play better than the players who are in and out of the squad. And I do think that is one of the reasons why guys are suffering in form, i.e. Odegaard, i.e. Eze at times. Some of these guys are suffering in form because they're in and out of the squad, not 100% like figured out how to play with each other yet.
So how long is that going to take then?
For certain players, it might take longer. Like Gyokeres, he needs service. Odegaard.
Let's move to him then. What's happening with him? Because I wanted him and I've been put in the mud because he looks awful, mate. Let's just say how it is.
I don't think he's a bad player. I don't think you lose all your talent just like that. I think it's down to a lack of service. Simply put, I think it's down to a lack of service because he has taken 21 shots this season in the Premier League, mate. 21 shots. He's taken 21 shots in the Premier League. In the Champions League for us, he's taken 13. You're telling me this is a guy who's getting many opportunities on goal. Now he can improve. He can maybe be less physical and get away from defenders and try to get onto the ball and do more. Because I did see Jesus do more in less time than him in the Champions League and in the league games. But I do think him getting used to the league and acclimatizing to the league has led to him being a little bit like off pace. And when Mikel Moreno's in the team and Jesus in the team, their movement off ball is better than him. We need to be able to find him better. When Trossard found him for that shot in the game the other day, that was like the best moment in the game for him. And we need more of those. We need more of those chances in the box, getting the ball to him 1v1 with the defender. He can turn them and shoot. Or even just get him onto the ball in and around the box so he can shoot from distance. He doesn't get too many touches. That's on the players on the pitch not finding him, not playing to his strengths, and that's also on the manager not utilizing him. We need to do better as a whole team to get better out of him. And it's not a coincidence. When Eze was playing on the left side, one time crosses to him, he scored. When Zubamendi in the preseason, one time cross to him, he scored. When we played through balls to him, at times he scored. We're not doing that. We're playing low blocks. We're kind of playing the horseshoe football. I don't blame him. I blame the system and the people around him not providing him the service.
So if you blame the system, does that come down to a manager thing then?
What right now, yeah, it is the manager. The manager has to get it into these guys' heads that they have a striker out there who scored friggin' how many goals last season, and he's capable of doing that. We need to utilize him. They're not utilizing him. They're playing like he's Moreno or Jesus.
Do you think we look better with Moreno and Jesus up front?
I'm not going to say that yet, but what I will say is Moreno and Jesus get more involved in the game because of their ability to drop deeper. So it looks aesthetically more better, but I don't know if it actually leads to more goals. What it leads to is more touches in and around the box, but we still score the same amount of goals with or without Gyokeres. Gyokeres' best game was against Burnley. I think in that game, what he was able to do on the counter, what he was able to do in the passing, he looked good. I think it's just down to rhythm, getting himself going, getting himself playing more again. Because Aston Villa, 45 minutes coming on, Brentford playing 7 minutes, Chelsea playing 18 minutes since coming back from the injury versus Burnley, where he was out for a month. Even him himself, that was his first start where he played 80 minutes in the Premier League since the injury versus Burnley. Another player who's off rhythm, we need to get used to playing with. Right now, it's early, Dad. It's early in the sense that it's December. We've not even hit the official halfway point of the season yet. I'm not sitting here writing anybody off. I just believe we need to give them the confidence and believe in these players. It's not time to turn on players. It's too early for that. We can't turn on these players. We need to support them.
Okay, look, I agree. I don't think we should be turning on players. I think there's definitely fans that are entitled to judge their performances, whether they believe they'll be good performances, which we've done against Bayern Munich and Tottenham, or whether they need to do better against the likes of Villa, Sunderland, and Wolves. But I've got a problem, and the problem is the manager with number nines. I do not think that our system suits number nines, because the best number nine, to be fair, in my opinion, is this guy. And he's not a number nine. He's not supposed to be a number nine. The most goals that we've scored, and the one that everybody wants back, is the guy that we bought to replace Granit Xhaka, who's been put in the nine. And since then, we've had the likes of this guy who needed to go, this guy who I thought was brilliant, but everyone else said he needed to go because he was the problem.
Because he punched the manager.
This guy who definitely couldn't do anything. And this guy who's been a flop because he's been injured for the majority of it. So when I look at the number nines at Arsenal in this Mikel Arteta reign, I'm going to be honest with you, Egal. It's been embarrassing, and that's an understatement, if I'm honest with you. And now we've got this guy who we bought from Sporting, who got 100 goals in 2 years that everyone was happy about, including myself. And now that's not looking too good, too bright either. And I remember everyone saying, we will know now. And I thought, what do you mean we'll know now? We will know if it's Arteta or if it is actually the striker system is not working.
Yeah.
Nobody said it will be Gyokeres because obviously he got the 100 goals, rah, rah, rah. Now, I personally do think Gyokeres needs to hold a massive L for his personal performances. But a lot of people have said we'll know if Arteta can get the best out of a striker or not because they're getting one who's just got 100 goals in 2 seasons and the top goal scorer in Europe. And Arteta's doing a bad job with him at the moment.
Hey, he just needs 2 goals to go into the back of the net. He just needs 2 goals to go into the back of the net, gain some confidence back. Don't forget, this was a guy who got man of the match versus Atletico Madrid. This is a guy who's one of our best players versus Burnley. He was starting to gain form, gain confidence again, and then he gets injured. I know people don't like excuses about injuries, but it can ruin your rhythm. And sports is a lot about rhythm. Sometimes players can just come back and they can just do it as they never left. But there is some guys who do need to gain back rhythm, especially when you haven't played with players before. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's on Gyokeres. I'm not going to sit here and say it's all on Arteta. It's a collective. Gyokeres has to do better when he does get the ball in tight spaces, controlling it and getting the shot off or getting a pass off. The players around him have to do better in finding him and creating chances which can suit his style of play. He has to be able to know what his teammates are capable of doing and which runs he needs to make. Because how many times is he not in the box when Saka passes the ball across the box? And how many times is it that he passes the ball across the box and the goalkeeper gets it because he's waiting behind the keeper? And then finally, Mikel Arteta and the management team need to find ways to create besides the same way of creating where it's like Saka crosses it in, Martinelli crosses it in, Trossard crosses it in, or Timber tries to play a slip ball to Saka to slice it in again. We need to find other ways to break down teams.
Do you think the players are using him? Do you think they do trust him? Because there's a lot of talk on social media that the players are not finding him. Odegaard is not
He looks
giving
like
him
a
the ball.
decoy. He looks like a decoy. He is they're almost using him as like a person to just get rid of another defender on the pitch. We're playing 10v10, and Gyokeres and his defender are out of the picture.
So do we need to change our style then completely so that Gyokeres can score?
You know something, Dan? Every team in the league struggles to break down low blocks. Every team in the league struggles to break down teams that are well set up defensively. Why is it so easy for us to break down teams in the Champions League? Is because they don't play the same defensive style against us in the Champions League as they do in the league. Wolves, what do you call it? Burnley, Crystal Palace, Fulham, all these teams at times were extremely frustrating to break down. We need to be clinical when we do get our chances. That is where we are letting ourselves down. That we are creating chances, Dan, in all these games. I just feel like sometimes when those chances do fall to Trossard or they fall to Gyokeres or they fall to Saka, we're not finishing them off. Look at the game, for example, versus was it Palace or was it Fulham? Gyokeres created a chance for Saka versus Burnley. Nothing came from it.
Well, Saka missed it. That's what happened.
Similar situation happened in the game versus Palace. Another game where a chance was created for Saka from Gyokeres, if I'm not mistaken. He created a chance in that. No, it wasn't that game. What game was it? It was one of those games before then. It must have been Fulham. Similar situation happened in that game too. No, it wasn't that game either. I can't remember. But my point is, I just feel like we're not clinical enough at times. We're not finishing our dinner. We're not taking our chances when need to be. And the perfect example is Wolves at home. Set piece comes in. Martinelli's wide open twice. I don't know if you've seen it where you were in the stadium. Martinelli was wide open twice. Nothing comes from it because he fluffs his lines and he misses a header.
Yeah, I wasn't at the game. I was away at the weekend, but I know the two chances you mean. One was from a header from a corner, which he should have buried, and the other one he's got to put in the bottom corner.
Yeah, Dan, do you agree with my point though? My main point is we're still in these games. We're dominating these games. We're just not doing the one thing that's the most important, finishing the team off.
Well, look, we've been trying to kill off games for last few years under Mikel Arteta, in my opinion. And some games it's cost us when we haven't been able to do so. Even this season, to be fair, we should have scored chances against some of the teams we weren't able to take 3 points and we ended up dropping points. But look, I do feel like Lee Judges was right, I thought, the other day. When you're winning 1-0 and you sit back and you chill out, sometimes you're going to draw 1-1. Now, I felt that we did that. And we're very lucky in the way that we won the game. It's the only Premier League game in history, by the way, that Arsenal have won without scoring a goal, which I thought was quite.
How do I tell my son that the other team scored 3 goals, but we won?
Exactly. We didn't score any; they scored 3, but we won. Make that make.
But
sense.
Then I don't see other fan bases getting mad when they win. It's only us.
No, do you know what I think it is? I'll be real.
We're so hard on
I was,
ourselves, Dan.
no, we were, and I was harsh on them. And I tell you why, right? I tell you why. Because that performance against the Wolves side, that let's be real, is pitiful. With 2 points that are on track to take over from Derby County's 11 points. That I was told by all the Arsenal fan base. I'll tell you what happened, right? We had Matt Pincus, he said 7-0. We had Laurie said 4-0. I said 2-0. And do you know what everyone did? They did this. I went 2-0 and they went, what? Only 2? Well, I'll tell you what, I've been very, very optimistic in the last few results. I'll tell you why. I thought Aston Villa Arsenal would be 1-1. How optimistic of me. How positive of me. It was 1-1. I went 2-0. I thought it'd be a comfortable 2-0 with an early goal and then get another in the second half. Turns out it's 2-1, last kick of the game. So when people say you're incredibly negative and toxic and, get down Tottenham Hotspur and support them because we don't want you in our fan base, I sit there and I think, well, I've actually been overly optimistic and positive then, because I thought we'd comfortably beat Wolves 2-0 and we beat Aston and we draw to Aston Villa. We ended up losing to Villa and we nicked it against Wolves in embarrassing fashion by them scoring it for us. So that was why I was peeved and I was pissed off. And you just know that this game coming up at the weekend, which we'll move to, Manchester City are going to be sitting pretty at the top by the time we play that game because West Ham are a shambles. Then the mental strength comes in. And everyone's already saying it's an easy 3 points, Egal, just quickly, because Jack Grealish is out and Kieran Dewsbury-Hall's out and Jai and Gare here in African Cup of Nations. This is going to be...
I tweeted that after the game. Everyone was like loving it.
Well, of course they're loving it because that's what you're doing. You're giving them all this hope. It's not going to be the quality of Everton that gets them something. It will be the system of David Moyes. Doesn't matter what players are out there. It's the system that beat us. It's never the individual quality of these sides, is it? Let's just be real. I'm not looking at Everton going, those 5 players, fair play. They'd walk into Arsenal. We don't do that. We look at it and go, the reason they're going to take something potentially is just like David Moyes took something when he was West Ham manager at Arsenal. He's got Arteta's number. He knows it. He can beat them. I think when you look at what David Moyes has done at Everton, I actually think it's been a very good job. And I think that's going to be an incredibly difficult game. But the reason it's going to be even more difficult now is because the pressure is on. And Arsenal don't do well with pressure, Egal. We don't. When the pressure is on, we crumble. And that's why I'm worried about this game.
Dan, I think it's partly down to the Arsenal fan base at times being very toxic. Hand of Arsenal, shout out to you.
Big up to you, bro.
I do think sometimes the Arsenal fan base is a little bit toxic. We're not supportive enough. Fans leaving after we concede the goal instead of staying.
That's wrong.
I think that's wrong. I also think turning on players mid-season when the season hasn't even kicked off yet. We're talking about pressure.
Who are they turning on? Who are they turning on?
Odegaard, turning on Saka, turning on Rice, turning on everybody.
What does that mean, though? Who's turning on? What does turning on players mean? What are they doing to Rice and Saka?
After a poor performance, sticking it on a player as if they need to be sold or saying like we
Someone's done that about Saka and Rice, though,
or saying we got scammed for Gyokeres or people. It's just you see it online. It's not real like conversations you see.
Ignore these idiots online. You need to come off Twitter.
But the main thing I want to get through is I do sense it's too early for us to be this panicked. It's too early for us to be this nervous. It's too early for us to be worrying too much about Man City. In my opinion, I think it's gone from a situation where we're in comfortable hands going into the game versus Chelsea to now we're 2 points behind. And I don't think the players feel it as much as the fan base does. And the fan base, the way they're acting, some of them, they don't believe we're going to win this league in the first place. And they're now getting back into that mindset that we're not going to win it because their default setting is to not believe rather than to believe that something good can happen for us. I do think the fan base's mood spills onto the pitch at times. And I do think that's partly why sometimes we do some of the stuff we do. Our home games can sometimes be more taxing on us because the players can sense that some of the fans are not into it.
Okay. So you don't think we're going to win the league by March by 15 points anymore? It's too early.
We could still go and do that. It just means we can still go and do that. I still believe
We
we're
aren't
going to go
doing
and win
that.
the
We
league.
aren't doing that.
I
Yeah.
still believe we're going to go win the league. I still believe we have players in this team that can go up a level. We have guys like Eze, Saka, Odegaard, Gyokeres, what do you call it? Declan Rice, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Calafiori, who can go up a level. They can all go up a level. We've not seen our best 11 bar 30 minutes. In my opinion, we've not seen our best 11
I agree with
players
that. I do agree with that.
outside of 30 minutes.
I
So
said that to
personally,
LB last night, to be fair, on my show. I said to LB, I don't think because they were all saying that Arsenal can't get any better. Manchester City can. I disagree with that. Arsenal can get better because Arsenal got players to bring back into this first 11, and Arsenal haven't had their best 11 available for the whole of this season yet, including, I'm not making injury excuses because I don't believe in that. And didn't believe in it last year, so I certainly don't believe in it this year. When I look at it now, we have got the best squad. We have got the best squad, and we should win this league. We should go and win this league. Manchester City don't look wow yet. They look like good. They look all
hey,
right.
Dan, let me say something to everybody. Please listen to what I'm saying very clearly. You guys always tell me the league's not won in December, it's won in April and May. So why are we panicking or speaking about it as if it's almost like a foregone conclusion that they're going to make this a situation where they can go and win it again? I think the PTSD over the last couple of seasons at times slips into people's conversations. And I'm not talking to you, Dan. I don't know if you've sat here and said that for sure City's going to go on and catch us
No,
and win it or something.
I never had City winning the
I've
league the whole time.
I was on a
Liverpool.
stream with guys like Lee a couple weeks ago going into the Chelsea game saying we're going to win the league, we're going to do it in spite of the manager, and now he's sitting here saying we've already fucked it. And it's just like,
No,
what are
we
you
haven't
going to do?
already. We haven't already. If we won the game, there's no white flags coming out from me. I still think we should win this league because I think we've got the best squad. The problem I've
I
got with
agree.
it is, do we have the mentality and is the pressure going to get to us? That's the only thing that can win us, that can lose us this league. It's not Man City being brilliant. It's Arsenal not doing their job. And if we can't do our job, we are ourselves our own worst enemy. But this season, it has to be different. We have to do. You're going to get games like Wolves. I appreciate that. You're going to, and Villa's a tricky game. Everyone's saying that we're going to beat Villa 3-0. We're talking rubbish. They're a bloody good side, right? But when I look at what we've done so far, when it has actually mattered, there's been problems there. Let me do these super chats and I'll move on to Everton before we come to a close quickly. Richard, big up to you, my bro. He's put in a few super chats. We're going to go read through them real quick. He says, top players don't need 5 to 6 weeks to get back up to speed after a 1 or 2 month injury. On a real, only Rice is playing as well as last season. Declan Rice is just running on fumes. I can't believe he's still going, to be fair. He also says, we don't watch football on a spreadsheet. It's on the eye. Look at Van Dijk's stats. Incredible on a spreadsheet. Dreadful this season on the pitch. Yeah, this is why I don't look at stats too much, to be honest with you. I use the eye test. And Richard said, I don't understand Egal. He just said, don't judge the players, and then continued to give a perfect breakdown of what they're doing wrong with Gyokeres.
No, because I'm saying don't judge them like like don't write them off.
Yeah, no, I get that. But you know, it's one of those. This one's just coming from Lawrence as well. He says Ben Foster out for a minimum of a month. Thanks, Ben Foster. Ben Foster's out for a minimum of a month. Thanks,
Ben White.
Oh, he means Ben White. Okay. Thanks to Arteta's incompetence. Arteta out. Do you think that the injuries we're getting are to blame, fitness coaching staff and Arteta wise?
I've analyzed all the injuries. Some of them are contact injuries that you can't control, like Odegaard's contact injury, Saliba's contact injury. But then there are some that are wear and tear. Like, let's be honest, Ben White's injury was totally preventable. He played 3 games in a row, started 3 games in a row, and got injured. So, in my opinion, that is slightly preventable. And maybe we should have started Miles Lewis-Skelly to start the game. But you can't sit here and predict that 3 games in a row automatically a player is going to get injured. You'd assume you've eased them in over a month that they can handle the intensity. The main reason why he really got injured is because he couldn't maintain a long sprint. The sprint led to him pulling his hamstring, and that's very unfortunate.
Who's that? Who? Ben White?
Ben White.
See, Ben White, that could have been prevented. The Gabriel one's a joke, but it's not just a joke on Arteta. It's a joke on Ancelotti and Brazil as well. Obviously, last season's injuries, all 3 of them were down to the manager, in my opinion. overplaying Arteta, Gabriel, and Havertz. You know, he's gone to Dubai to chill out, and the geezer's been asked to do intensity training. His hamstrings come off his bone. You've got Saka, who was just overplayed for about 4 years, and then you've got Gabriel, who's playing and playing and playing and playing. And we just beaten the PSP 7-1, and the geezer's playing it the second leg. Why? Coming on against games in League Cups, and even this season, bringing him on in League Cup games. I don't get that.
Yeah, but for example, but Gyokeres this season, Martinelli this season, Trossard this season, Saliba this season, those are not like Arteta injuries. Those are injuries just because it's a physical sport.
So yeah, but he is obviously, he's not to blame for every single injury. I'm not saying
Mascara. Is he to blame for Mascara getting injured?
Mascara's unlucky. Mascara's an unlucky one because he's had to come in because he's come in to provide cover and he's got injured, right? Ben White, I think, is preventable.
Ankle injuries, you can't predict that.
Well, let's be real. When we have ACLs, broken legs, other horrific injuries like that, they are just bad luck. When we get these little niggles and these muscle injuries and these wear and tear injuries, I just want to know, this isn't just Arteta, this is on the training, coaching staff, fitness staff, everything. It needs to be investigated as to why we're getting so many of them. Like so many injuries.
I did say that. But you know what? They did an internal investigation and they find about half of them is just wear and tear and the other half is preventable. And the ones that are preventable, they're trying to basically have these players ready to go for next season. So they're taking extra precautions for Saliba, for Gabriel. They're not rushing these guys back. Look, Saliba could have been back a long time ago. They waited an extra 2 games.
Yeah. Let's do this last super chat, and then I've got one last question before we come to a close. Lawrence says he's still racking his brains as to how he struggled to beat a team with less points than a triangle, having to rely on them scoring 2 own goals to get us 3 points. Embarrassing. This is why the Arsenal fans are annoyed, Egal. You know, you said, they're going over the top. I don't get why they're annoyed. That's why they're annoyed.
Can I reply to this, though? I do think
Yeah.
We need to stop looking at how the team has been playing and look at how they played against us. The way they played against us was very well set up defensively, and they did not play anywhere near that level of defense all season against anybody. They never played that well against anybody this season. So credit to them. And at the same time, you can look at us and criticize ourselves. But I think the main reason why everyone's looking at that is they're like, Man United beat them, Arsenal should smash them. And sometimes it doesn't work like that. Football doesn't always work the way that we want it to work. If I'm not mistaken, last year, Liverpool had a game against Southampton, who was bottom of the league, if I'm not mistaken, and the game ended 3-2. Sometimes it's just how it works. It doesn't mean you're 20th and you're first. It doesn't mean you're going to automatically smash them. Football's not played on paper. It's played on the pitch, and we did not play well enough. So I get the criticism, but at the same time, we won the game. Let's move on.
Okay. Malcolm, big up to you, mate. He says, all right, lads, Darren Egal, are you coming on Saturday? I don't think we are. I'm definitely not. Big up to you, though, bro. You're not going to Egal, I don't think.
No, I'm not traveling down to Merseyside.
No, he thinks we win 1-0 on Saturday, but we'll make it tough for you, lads. I actually agree. I think you will make it tough.
They have 4 key players out.
Well, they do have 4 key players out. Grealish, Dewsbury Hall, Garner Gay, and Njai. They are all missing from what I understand. And it might be more, but I don't know. They're the 4 that I'm hearing are doubts or definitely out. So what do you think's happening at the weekend, bro? Are we winning?
Grind it out. Tough 2-0 victory. We get out of there skin of our teeth with the second goal and bury the game. But it's gonna be one of those tough games where it's gonna take like a goal just before halftime, and then the whole second half you're nervy. Can they score? And then eventually you come out of there with a 2-0. That's what I'm hoping, at least. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they at least held out from scoring until at least 40 to 30 minutes. They're gonna make it very difficult for us.
Yeah, I think they are going to make it very difficult for us. I'll be honest with you, and I think we might drop points. I'll go for a 2-1 Arsenal win, but it wouldn't surprise you if this one's 1-1. It really wouldn't surprise me if this one's a draw.
No, but you know what? Gabriel Magalhaes is back. You believe we win?
Is he? He's not back, is he?
Yeah, he could be.
For this Everton game?
Yeah.
Wow. I'll be stunned if that's the case. If we got Gabriel and Saliba, I'll always back us to keep it. That's for sure. Let's quickly put an 11 together that we think it will be, and then we will get out of here because I know you don't have long, and neither do I. So let's start here with the team. David Raya is obviously going to be in goal, so let's put him in. Is Timber going to be back at right back because obviously Ben White's out? Do we agree with that? Where are we? And then a centre back. Sorry, centre backs and left back. What are you going
Sorry,
with?
I was on mute. My bad. Yeah, 100%.
What are we going for at the centre backs? Left back. I don't think Gabriel will play. So
okay, so if Gabriel's not back, it's going to be Timber, Saliba, Hincapié, Calafiori, in my opinion.
So it'll be Timber, Saliba, Hincapié, and who did you say? Calafiori.
Yeah,
that left back. Yeah, he's back now, isn't he?
Yeah, one
So
game
no
suspension.
No Lewis-Skelly. Okay. Then we go into midfield. Who are we playing? Zubimendi?
I think for this game we go Rice.
Okay, so no Zubimendi, no?
No, you rest Zubimendi.
Okay, and then what? Eze and Odegaard?
Eze and Odegaard, yep.
Okay. And then what about the front three?
Trossard on the left.
Okay.
Saka on the right.
Yep.
And then up top, you go Gyokeres.
Okay, so we think this will be the team. Let us know in the chat if you believe this is what the team will be. I think Zubimendi will play, if I'm honest.
Somebody needs to rest out of those guys.
Well, I think, like you've said, I think Arteta will believe they've all had 7 days rest. So I think that Zubimendi and Rice will both play, and I think it will be Odegaard and Eze will be on the bench. But
I know, but look at it this way. Rice recently has had rest in the game in the Champions League. Zubimendi has not had any rest up until that point. So maybe you can play Odegaard, Eze, and Rice, and don't act like this is not a great midfield still.
Oh, no, it is. And it's an attacking midfield, and I actually think this is a good thing that we should be doing more. But I don't think he will. I think he knows how important Zubimendi is to the midfield for Rice. I think him and Rice together are very good. But I might be wrong. He could go with this. But I mean, what's the future for Lewis-Skelly and Nwaneri here? Like, I know a lot of people say you can't moan about not squad depth and then moan that they're not playing. But I look at the futures of them, and everyone said there's no way they should be allowed to go out on loan. It's a disgrace if they go out on loan. But they want to play football. And Lewis-Skelly was overlooked for Hincapié on the left back against Wolves when Calafiori is suspended. And even Nwaneri, I can't remember the last time he played. So are we worried about these two players long term?
At the end of the day, we're fighting for a title. I can't be too I can't just be looking at the bench saying we have to play 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds in the team. Miles Lewis-Skelly is going to get rotated in and out at left back. I don't think he's going to play in midfield right away. And I think Ethan is going to struggle to get into the team at this moment in time with the way things are going. Let's see where he can get minutes. But I do think Ethan it's gonna have to be a loan for him, if anything. But right now, would you even risk loaning a player out?
I wouldn't loan either of them because I do believe that they're going to play minutes, and I do think we're going to need them because we're going to get injuries.
Ethan's one injury away from Ethan's not one injury away. Ethan's like 2 injuries away. Miles is 1 injury away from starting every week. Ethan is probably 2 or 3.
Well, Max Nauman's out for a few months now as well, apparently, so he won't be on the bench as much. So Miles and Ethan definitely will be within and around the squad. So look,
Max Nauman was playing too much. Max Nauman was playing academy football anyways, so it's not like he was going to play every game.
No, exactly. He was actually playing. He's played more football than Ethan. But Ethan, I do potentially worry about this season, but is what it is. So we think
he's still 18. Remember this. He's still 18. Of course. He still played 6 league games already this season. He's played 10 games all competitions this season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. It's not like 11 actually. It's not the end of the world, but I don't think we need to be too concerned yet. If he was 20 years old and he was still languishing on the bench 24/7, I'll be more concerned. He just signed a new contract. I don't think he's that worried. The pathway at Arsenal is very clear.
Okay. Last super chats of the day. Dan, the only reason Gyokeres has been poor for us is because he gets no service from the midfield. A lot of people speaking about this. We did question that earlier, Lawrence, on the stream. Have you had this before, Egal? Put a red Arsenal jacket and set of headphones on, Egal, and you've got Ty from AFTV. Do you ever get compared to Ty in terms of your opinions?
All the time. But hey, I wouldn't expect anything else from Lawrence.
Yeah, no, fair play. I know you two have had some past history. Okay, look, let's get out of here. I want to
He's
do a
one
quick
defeat
thing.
away from calling Arteta out again.
Well, do you know what? This question came in earlier. What if Arteta don't win nothing again? What are you going to say then? I think you already have answered that previously, that you think he
I've
goes if he
answered that
doesn't win
100
something.
times, but we're not in that phase right now. I believe we're in the phase of winning trophies. We're in the phase of getting ourselves over the line, and I think a lot of people are not. You know what? If you want to panic after every result, just wait until April, May. You don't need to be on every show going crazy. Calm down, relax. You don't need to go crazy. I think sometimes we do this to ourselves. We worry about the worst case scenario. It's not.
Okay.
We don't have to do that.
Okay. Well, I think everyone knows my thoughts on the manager, and there's only one question.
I have to say to you, Dan, when we're doing well, you're so close to saying we're gonna win the league. When we're doing bad, you're so close to teetering on like Arteta out.
Well, I've always been a believer that he needs to prove me wrong, that I'm the one who's crazy, that I'm the deluded one, that he is going to win and say, look, I've made you happy. So I might not believe and I might not be convinced. The only way to do that is to shut me up and say, well, how about I convince you by doing that in your face in May? Or actually, tell a lie, do it in March for me, for the Carabao
Hey,
Cup.
a week off, I expect Arsenal to have a great performance away at Everton. If we were to drop points away at Everton, it would be very shocking. I hope that the performance versus Wolves is an eye opener and a lesson without getting punished. Because sometimes these near misses can be eye opening to people.
So you're going for 2-0 against Everton, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go 2-1, but it wouldn't surprise me if we draw. It really wouldn't. Manchester City are going to beat West Ham because they're an embarrassment, and that's going to be an easy, comfortable 3-0. And then it's going to be top of the league for Man City, and Arsenal got the pressure back on them. Just quickly before we go, do you want to be chasing City or in front of City? Where do you think we'd do better with?
I just want to be up front at the end of the season. I don't care how we do it.
No, but I know I do, but do you think? Okay, let me ask it differently. Do you think Arsenal
For the mental state of my own fan base, I would rather be ahead.
Okay, same
because
here.
I don't think our fan base can handle being behind.
I don't think the team can. I don't think the team can handle either at the moment,
bro. The team is indicative of the belief that the supporters breathe out, and I don't think the supporters breathe out confidence. Forget about the team. When we were performing well,
have you ever thought about why that might be?
I think
because there's a difference between being confident. I can sit here now going, "We're going to win the league." I know we've lost 15 games in a row, but we're going to win the league. I could be an Everton fan going, "We're going to win the league." I'm confident. I'm going, but you're not, are you? You're just sort of saying it, and that's what I think some of the Arsenal fans do. Is like, so like for example, right, Egal, with yourself the other week, we beat Tottenham and we beat Bayern Munich. We're going to win both. We're going to win the Premier League and the Champions League. And then we play Wolves and we play Villa and we play Sunderland and then we've got Everton this weekend. And it's all like, let's just calm down. It might be tighter than we thought.
But you know what? It's also the media who build us up.
Too quick to go to.
Bro,
yeah, but you built it up. You told me we're going to win the Champions League. And the
Bro, I'm not sitting here making official odds saying that Arsenal are favorites to win both competitions. That's the statistical people. That's up the stats setting us up.
Do you think we're winning both of these trophies still? Do you still think we're winning both of them?
It's too early. We're in December. I'm just going to say this. When people said to me, Egal, why are you so confident? We were 7 points ahead. I was well within my right to say, if we keep this up, we can win the league by March.
Bro, you heard what I said.
But we didn't keep it up.
Beat Chelsea, I think Arsenal win the league. We couldn't beat Chelsea, we couldn't beat Sunderland, we couldn't beat Villa, and we snuck against Wolves. And now we're going to the Everton game. We really see the mentality of this side now. This weekend, we see the mentality.
It's not the end of the world. We just need 1 month like October, and we're back ahead by a decent margin. Because Man City's going to drop points also. Arsenal's going to drop points also. We're not done dropping points. The season's going to be long. Buckle up. It's going to be a long ride, and I expect a lot of people to put their big pants on, because I feel like some people have diapers. They're about to piss themselves.
Okay, sweet. Well, look, I love the confidence, brother. I do, and I appreciate you coming on. Make sure you do me a favor, people. Make sure you're following Egal Talks Football. I'll be back at 7 o'clock tonight. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on this one. And make sure if you want one of these hoodies for Christmas, or if you want one of the mugs, the 12th man mugs, then they are on sale. Pinned in the live chat now, and also in the description, you'll see the link. All you've got to do is click on there and it will take you straight there. If you use the code FTM20, you get 20% off for Christmas. So make sure you're getting in there soon. And then you can join me with these hoodies on live streams, and you can also drink out of your Thierry Henry mug if that's what you're getting for Christmas. Big up to you, Egal. You got anything coming up, bro?
Nah, man, I'm done for the day. I literally did 2 streams already, but yeah, I'm gonna be live tomorrow at some point, and I'll catch you guys then.
Love that. All right, sweet people, we're out of here. Take it easy, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.